Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Lamis Hamdan. I'm the founder of the clean beauty skincare line, Shifa. And here with my guest, the fabulous Aditi Rao Hydari. My guest needs no introduction, of course. Hailing from royal lineage, she's a trained classical dancer and has impressively worked with both the South and with Bollywood film greats. Aditi Rao Hydari, welcome. We're happy to have you.
Very happy to be here, Dr. Hamdan.
We'll be talking about holistic beauty rituals that are based on clean ingredients and possibly even have been passed through generations and generations.
I want to know, what was your impression of clean beauty growing up?
I've never known that to be a term because I think I just grew up knowing only this kind of way of being. It's like actually more about well-being and holistic health rather than just beauty. Because I feel like you can slap on any kind of cream onto your face, the best. You can eat a gazillion vitamins, but you have to be really clean and from within. From the time that I was very little. So my mother specifically, even more than my grandmother, brought me up on natural medicine, just making things in the kitchen and giving them to me. Skin is dry, use full fat milk. If it's feeling oily, then use yogurt or rose water or aloe, as mixers for whatever it is that you're putting in your face. And pretty much like my mom says that if you can eat it, you can put it on your face. Not maybe brinjal and okra, but pretty much the rest.
Now, one thing that caught my eye, Aditi, is that you are a classical dancer. So as a dancer, how do you take care of your body? Are there any specific body oils you use or any bathing or hot baths that you take?
Something that I've done since I was a child. My dance teacher insisted on it, which is massages, which are very important, especially for dancers, because it's so important to release muscles. And I feel like blockages are the reasons that, you fall sick or you have muscle cramps or muscle pulls, because your body needs to be like open. And I do concentrate a lot more on stretching. So for long, lean muscle rather than contracted muscle. Also because that's been my discipline from the time that I was little. So there's yoga that I love, there's dancing, and there's just general stretching. And then if you talk about like beauty rituals, then my mother used to get this done for me when I was small. It's also really good for exfoliation and you don't get like hair on your body.
Please tell us. If we do something that doesn't give us hair is something we really need.
It's called Uptan in India, and it's a mix of various different things, pulse powders and cream and milk and turmeric, orange peel, like whatever concoction that whoever wants to make, and a lot of oil. And then you put it on the skin and you exfoliate the skin with it. And it's really good. Even today, like all my friends laugh at me and they say that I bathe with soup and I put palak in my bath because I'm like, I don't want to use soap unless I went into like some kind of mine.
Yeah, soap is too drying. It disrupts the natural pH of your skin. I think that, the issue with us is that maybe we became too clean without, and we don't need to. We're actually hurting, like we're hurting our hair, we're hurting our skin by perhaps being a little bit too clean. Did anything change when you became an actress? Because you have stage makeup on for long hours. I would like to specifically know, how do you take off makeup at the end of a working day?
I quite often get asked about my skincare routine, and I don't really have one. So even with removing makeup, there are days when I feel like I need to use, one of those, whatever they're called, I don't know, those waters.
Micellar waters, yes.
Micellar waters, one of those. But there are also days when I just use coconut oil on my face. It really depends on how my skin is feeling and what I feel that my skin needs. If it's dry, I'll do something else. If I'm in a cold climate, I'll do something else.
I love that because as a doctor, I get asked a lot, what should I do? How much of this should I use? What should I use first? And I always say it really depends on what your skin needs at that moment. But I have to say, I have a ritual, and at night, I always take off my makeup or whatever I have using double cleansing. So I cleanse twice. It's just very fine. It gives just the right amounts of exfoliate. And you know what's great? You put it in the wash and you wash it with your whites, so you reuse it.
Yeah. I end up using cotton, but this is a better option.
Now, you also mentioned that you take a lot of things internally. Your skin is your biggest organ, so it does get affected with what you eat. So are there any herbal teas that are in your repertoire that you love using a lot?
So I go through phases. I don't do the same thing every day. I'm not a great routine person. Sometimes in the morning I'll have aloe vera. Sometimes I'll have a mix of like Indian gooseberry and amla and ginger and like stuff like that, and make like a tea out of that. Sometimes I'll just have like cinnamon water or saunf ka pani. And people are horrified at the amounts of ghee that I eat. Like I eat bowls of ghee, literally.
Wow.
I can eat a whole katori of ghee in a day. I don't know what is happening with my cholesterol. That seems to be fine. But I'm convinced it's really good for my skin and my bones and my joints and whatever.
That's amazing. I actually think that you're a treasure trove of herbal remedies. So I suffer from insomnia. So I take ashwagandha, half a teaspoon of a powder a day. And I wanted to ask, how is your sleep? Do you suffer from, sleep issues, or? So lucky.
I
Absolutely.
put my head on my pillow and I'm out. 8 hours is perfect for me. I'm rested, I'm awake, and my face is not like this. If I sleep like 10 and 12 hours, I wake up with a football of a face.
So what do you do when you wake up with a football of the face?
So I usually have like warm water. Then I splash ice cold water on my face, and I have kelp. And
Absolutely.
also any kind of anti-inflammatory like turmeric. All these things help. And I always take cold showers. When I was shooting in places like Ladakh and Serbia, where it was -8 and -17, I would start with a warm shower and be gentle on myself, and then I would put a freezing cold shower, and then I would be like, and it helps me deal with the cold. So I tend to have a cold shower because I think it's also good for my metabolism. It's good for the skin, and it's very refreshing.
A lot of people here and in India suffer from pigmentation issues because we're under the hot sun. Turmeric, lemon, and yogurt. The yogurt sort of calms the skin. Did you try lemon and you found that it was too harsh for your skin?
So I find lemon a little harsh for my skin. So I would put in something like maybe even orange juice, or I would maybe add, if I was putting in lemon, I would possibly add a little either aloe vera or atta, because that calms the skin and it's good for sensitive skin too.
So here you go, the recipe for lightening any skin pigmentation. Now, I want to know, again, being an actress, really, your face is your commodity, so you have to take good care of it. What happens, and I think it happens rarely with you, but what happens if you get that emergency pimple? What do you do about it?
I have one just now, actually. Yeah, right. Okay. It's like a bindi, tiny one, but I have it. I have sandalwood and water, or rose water, or even aloe, and I put it just on the spot of it, and today it's gone.
I love sandalwood because it's antibacterial, antifungal, and aloe helps with any scarring that may or may not happen because of the pimple. And how is it being an actress where everything is criticized? How do you deal with it?
That's a really nice question. I feel like when I started 2011 or so, when I came to Bombay, when you're young and you're sort of finding your way, and there are a lot of people telling you a lot of things, you're listening to them, and you feel, yes, of course they know better, they've been here longer, etc., etc. And you listen to everybody, and you're still struggling to find yourself, that you really genuinely feel you breathe better, and you just feel happier when the day that you accept yourself, who you are, you start trusting people to then write different paths onto you. You surrender to their vision, and you do it with a lot more honesty and conviction, and just letting go, and enjoying the process.
Wow. I wish I had your level of, I guess, consciousness when I was your age. I think gratitude is very powerful, and it shows through your skin. When someone is happy, it shows. Do you do any sort of meditation or deep breathing techniques? Okay.
So my mother says that, my mother does, and she says that it would be so good for me. But I don't feel it at the moment. But I do see the value. Mm-hmm. I see how people glow when they meditate, because it's just so beautiful. When I get to it, I will. But I do, because of yoga, I've learned various breathing exercises, and meditation is basically, I think it's about like your breath, like being one with your breath. But to me, dancing and singing is a kind of meditation.
You know what I love about you, Aditi, is the fact that it really is about moderation and about what feels authentic to you, not necessarily what everyone else is doing. And that takes a lot of self-esteem. And don't you think holistic health is really about having good self-esteem and loving yourself and being kind to yourself and not being too judgmental to yourself? So before we say goodbye, Aditi, and it has been just so wonderful talking to you. I've learned so much. I know.
Likewise.
Thank you. Why don't we end this session with a pranayama? It's the alternate nostril breathing.
Anulom Vilom, yes.
And this is one of the breathing techniques that I think everyone can do, because it balances the 3 doshas. Sit comfortably. You don't necessarily have to be cross-legged. You can sit comfortably, and you place your left hand in the chin mudra, which is basically like this, okay? And you place it on your lap. Your right hand should be in the Nasakagra mudra, and it's basically just the first 2 fingers down, okay? And you're basically going to use your thumb and your ring finger. Exactly. Close the right nostril and breathe out through our left. And then you're going to breathe in through the left. Close the left nostril, open the right, exhale through the right. Breathe in through the right, close the right, open the left, breathe out through the left, breathe in through the left again. That's amazing. You are a wealth of knowledge when it comes to, honestly, and I think we should thank your mother and your grandmother for all this wealth of knowledge that you have kindly shared with us. It has been truly a pleasure speaking to you. You're a beautiful soul inside and out, and it was an absolute pleasure. Nice to meet you, Aditi.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you. And I cannot wait to use your products.
Thank you.
And try your homegrown remedy.
Thank you very much.